What is going on, Fan Clan? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Danny Phantom, and happy Pokemon Day. It is almost, when I am recording this, it's about an hour away from Pokemon Day, which takes place February 27th. If you got a chance to watch the Pokemon Direct earlier today, please let me know your thought process on it, what you think, what you saw. Pokemon Snap looks super cool, but also the Diamond and Pearl remake looks absolutely outstanding. I am so happy with the direction that they decided to take. Really listening to the fans of the game, I thought, and it looks really great. So I'm super excited about that. I'm not going to talk about that too much in today's video because I do want to talk to you about Battle Styles, and I do want to talk to you about Shining Fates. Now that Shining Fates has been out for about a week, we have seen some pretty dramatic changes when it comes to pricing as far as singles go, so I want to touch base on that. But first, let's talk about Battle Styles, and I do want to apologize for getting this video out so late, but Battle Styles is something that I've been asked about so frequently over the past several weeks because there's a lot of companies out there that have already taken pre-orders and have been taking pre-orders for a while now, and we have not released them yet. And I keep telling everybody the reason we haven't released them yet is because we don't have our allocation number. And what an allocation number is basically the number that you are assigned for the amount of product that you are going to get. So we order a specific amount of product from distributors. Distributors order that amount of product from Pokemon. Pokemon comes back and says, this is the amount of pre-order, this is the amount of product that you are going to be getting, and then distributors tell every store what they're getting, how much of their pre-order that they're actually going to be getting. That is your allocation. So we have been doing this for quite a while now, and I remember being able to get pretty much everything that we asked for every single set, all the way up until Darkness Ablaze. I think Darkness Ablaze, we ordered 250 cases of booster boxes. We got all 250. For Vivid Voltage, I think we also ordered 250. We didn't quite get 250 of that. That was the first time where we got allocated on a main set release. And then Battle Styles, when we were told to get our order in, we ordered like 300-ish cases of Battle Styles under the impression that we would probably get around 250 again. Pokemon came out in a tweet. They said that they were going to really amp up capacity. They were going to print to capacity. They were going to make sure that they printed, to demand. And unfortunately, I'm a little bit nervous right now because we haven't gotten that allocation number yet. And in my contact with our main distributor earlier today, he informed me that he was upset with the amount that they were given. Which has me a little bit concerned. And I did talk to some other storefronts who did get their allocation numbers already, and it looks to be about 30% of what they actually ordered. And one big store in particular that I talked to, which typically orders thousands of booster boxes for a new set release, is getting like I said, about 30% of what they typically get. So I'm very nervous when it comes to Battle Styles. I don't know what to expect. My distributor did tell me earlier today that he was unhappy with the number that he was given for us, so he would contact me next week with the number that we're actually going to be given after he goes back and tries to get a better number for us. And that has me concerned because I know a lot of companies have already started taking pre-orders from Battle Styles. So again, I do want to forewarn everybody to make sure that you are ordering from a reputable company and start looking around if you haven't already to see what kind of prices you see out there. Just a reminder that retail MSRP on a booster box is going to be about $143. So if you can find it for less than that, great. Normally booster boxes would sell for $90, $95, $100. Lately pre-orders have been somewhere around that $110, $120 mark, which is totally fair, well under MSRP still. So if you can find it for that, awesome. But unfortunately, it does look like this issue that we're having with capacity printing or with printing in general is going to continue at least through Battle Styles, and hopefully they'll start doing waves of Battle Styles, and we'll get more releases coming out, more booster boxes getting reprinted, and they'll continue just really feeding into the market as much as they possibly can, as frequently as they can, and it just might be a little bit less on the initial release than what we're typically used to. However, I am not going to lie to you. I am a little bit concerned about Battle Styles when I get told it's not a great number compared to the amount that we're ordering, because typically when it comes to main series releases, we get very close to the number that we pre-order, if not exactly the number we pre-order. But this is a different time and a different market right now, so as many as we can possibly get. Obviously, we're going to do whatever we can to make sure that we get you guys your product in the best possible price that's out there. So pay attention. I will release information on this YouTube channel here to you guys to let you know the best way to go about ordering it as soon as we get those numbers in. Just be patient with us a little bit longer, and hopefully we'll have our numbers soon. I am a little bit nervous and a little bit concerned also about the build and battle boxes. It seems like those are going to be extremely heavily allocated, and it looks like those might might be a case of only one print run. We did see some information earlier this week on PokeBeach saying that those are going to be coming out a day earlier than they typically do and 2 weeks before the set actually releases. So I think that those are slated to actually come out on like March 5th now, according to PokeBeach. So pay attention to those. If you haven't seen anything out there, definitely check with your local GameStop or your local game store to see if they have any allocation numbers in and what they might be doing when it comes to battle styles, because it does seem like this set is going to at least be pretty well allocated at the beginning. And I know it's the same thing, just a different day, but hopefully Pokemon does continue to ramp up that printing. We'll just see more waves of this set come out, you know, for several weeks down the road, several months down the road, and there'll be plenty of product to kind of fill the shelves. So that is that. Let me know if you have any questions down below, or if you've even found Battle Styles booster boxes already, or ETBs, or whatever the case may be, and you were able to pre-order them at a pretty good price. Feel free to drop that down below. I want to make sure that you guys get the best pricing available, so I'm totally okay with you guys letting me know where you're finding stuff and where you're finding good deals, so that way everybody in the community can take advantage. With that, I do want to move forward and start talking to you about Shining Fates. So this set is just about a week old now. It came out last week, and I know that there's a lot of product that hasn't hit the shelves yet, and I know it's kind of tough to find. But if you look at the market out there right now, we talked about pre-order pricing last week right before the set came out, and that Charizard VMAX that you see right at the top there, that $455 as the lowest price. Here I am trying to point at it on my screen like you can actually see that, so I'm just going to use my cursor here. That $455 price. When we looked last week, it was selling for $900 as a pre-order price. So now it's down closer to that $500 mark. That's what it was earlier today when I looked. That's a 44% decrease just over the span of 1 week. So a decent amount of this product is actually getting opened and is actually circulating. So why this is good news? You might not have been able to find Shining Fates product at a good price, and you may be holding off on buying it because of that. And I totally understand. I'm right there with you. I would be in the same boat as you. I'd start looking at singles and things like that to fill out my master collection, and maybe I would take a pass on Shining Fates when it comes to trying to find sealed product, because it is just out of control. It is too expensive. But the good thing is that now that the set has been out a week, you can really start seeing these prices drop, with the exception of a couple of cards. So we're looking at Charizard VMAX right here. Like I said, that's a 44% decrease over 1 week, and I just went over the top 10 cards here. Eternatus VMAX is the second card that we saw last week as far as expense goes. It was $130 that it was selling for as far as pre-order pricing goes. It is down to $35. When I looked earlier today, it was actually at $37. That's a 71.5% dip. 71.5% that this card fell in the span of a week. So I do anticipate these cards to continue falling as more product gets out there. You have to remember, Shining Fates was kind of delayed. A lot of distributorships had issues with weather. They got product out late. I've seen a lot of storefronts just start getting their product Wednesday and Thursday of this week, which means that product is really starting to ship and get to customers and starting to get opened and starting to get opened at storefronts. So these numbers are going to continue to fall, which is really good for people who are trying to collect a master set without opening tons of product. Now, it's a great thing for this set to have so many hits, but the fact that there are so many hits and so many shinies means that it can be pretty expensive if you're trying to build a master set just based off of sealed. So maybe you just crack a couple sealed for enjoyment and really start filling out your master set based off of buying singles, looking on sites like TCG Player or other vendors that you might know of out there, seeing what you can find out for the best price. The third most expensive price last week was Skyla. I'm not going to pull up the shiny. This is the shiny Volt section of Shining Fates. I'm not going to pull up the Shining Fates set. I'm just going to give you the number that I found earlier today. So last week that was pre-ordering for about $100. Now that is down to $64. So that's a 36% drop. Eternatus VMAX, or Eternatus V is the next one. That was selling for $100 for pre-order pricing last week. Now it is down to $27. When I looked earlier today, it was down to $32. So that's $5 more that this dropped just in the span of about 10 hours when I looked. That's a 68% decrease in the span of a week. Lapras VMAX was the next one that was selling for $50 for a pre-order pricing. Now it's down to $37. Or actually now it's down to $33. It was down to $37 earlier today. That's a 26% dip. Grimmsnarl VMAX was the next one. That was a $50 card last week. Now it is down to $16.25. When I looked earlier today, it was down to 20, which is a 60% decrease. Toxtricity VMAX, that was selling for $50 last week. Now it's down to $13.96. Earlier today when I looked, it was at $16.50. That's a 67% decrease. PokeKid, which is another one that's just in the normal Shining Fate set, that was selling for $50 for pre-order pricing last week. Now it's down to $29, which is a 42% dip. And then Ditto VMAX, which actually hasn't seen that big of a dip compared to the other ones. That was pre-ordering for $50 last week. Now it's down to $43. That's about a 12% decrease. And when I looked earlier today, it was selling for $44. So you're at about a 13% decrease right now. There are a couple outliers. Suicune is an outlier, for example. That was pre-ordering for about $40. When I looked earlier today, it was selling for $71. This is at $65 right now. So that's actually about a 75% increase compared to where it was last week. Galarian Rapidash is another one. You can see right here it's selling for $17. That's quite a bit higher. That's a few dollars higher than what it was selling for last week. Same thing with Inteleon. Inteleon Baby Shiny is selling for $16. And then Galarian Ponyta has actually dropped a little bit from earlier when I looked today. The lowest price right now is $18.69. Earlier today it was $20. And Ditto V is actually the other one here. That's another outlier that has actually gone up a little bit in price and not too much of a decrease. Ditto V right now is selling for $19. As you can see here, it's $16. I believe last week that was selling for about $20, $25, somewhere around there. The Shiny V cards in general were selling from $20 to $30 as far as pre-order pricing goes. And right now, there's a lot of them that are selling for $5 to $10. So if we go to page 3 here, maybe that's, no, this is, okay. We'll go to page 4. There's actually a decent amount of Shiny V cards that you can buy for under $10 or even under $7. You can see the Centiskorch V right here is selling for $7. This Grimmsnarl V is selling for under $6. This Toxtricity V is selling for about $6. Even now on page 5, it's just crazy to me. Phalanx is selling for $5. Double V is selling for $4. Rillaboom V is as low as $265. And DDV is as low as $560. So these are cards that are, the pull rates in the set are actually, I mean, they're about 1 out of every 10 packs. They're actually selling for about $5, which isn't bad at all when it comes to building that master set. Amazing Rares were selling for about $25 to $30 last week. Now they're averaging about $10 to $15. And finally, Baby Shinies, which is making up the majority of this massive 122 card subset of Shining Fates. Those are selling anywhere from $5 to $10 right now, whereas before they were selling, last week they were selling for about $15 to $20. So there's a lot of them that you can kind of go and snag right now at a decent price. The same thing actually happened with Hidden Fates when Hidden Fates first came out. A lot of these Baby Shinies, I remember buying bulk Baby Shinies for about 75 cents a piece, and that was actually the high end of the market because a lot of them were selling for about $1. So I do expect a lot of these to dip down to that $1, $2 mark. Now we'll see how Shining Fates goes compared to what Hidden Fates did. It may go down quite a bit at the beginning and then start to creep up a little bit over time as more and more people start collecting the set. So it's definitely not something that you want to wait on too long. I would set a budget, maybe start preparing yourself saying, hey, I'm okay spending this much on a master set of Shining Fates. These are the cards that I'm going to grab right now because they're good, they're nicely priced, and then I'm going to wait on that Charizard. I'm going to wait on some of those more expensive cards and hope that they come down a little bit more before I start investing money into them. But Shining Fates is definitely something that you could look at, and maybe it's something where you even want to wait until that second or third print run start coming up, because the print quality of Shining Fates has not been anything spectacular right out of the gate. So definitely something that you want to pay attention to. The average percent drop of the top 10 of cards in Shining Fates is 44%, which is a pretty steep drop week over week, so a week after the release of a set. You usually do see a drop, a decline, because cards are out there, cards are circulating, more people are starting to sell their cards, but 44% is pretty high. However, the number of listings that you see, so like right here you see IndieDV has 77 listings. That's actually not too low of a number, which means that right now there's actually a decent amount of people who are selling Shining Fates singles, and I do expect that number to rise, especially over the next couple weeks. So definitely pay attention if you're somebody who likes to collect master sets and you're starting to look at your master set of Shining Fates, or even if you haven't opened any sealed product yet, there may be some cards in here that you want to start knocking off of that master set list now that they're decently priced after that pre-order process has happened. So pay attention to that. I wanted to get that information out there just so you could see it is more drastic of a decline than what I was even expecting. So it's definitely a good time to start looking at singles when it comes to Shining Fates. I don't want to ramble too much about it, so I'll kind of leave it at that. Let me know in the comment section down below what you're doing as far as Shining Fates goes, what you're doing as far as Battle Styles goes. Guys, I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to me. I'm sorry again that it was so late. If you don't follow me on Instagram, feel free to give me a follow. My name is Danny.Phantom. I'm Danny with 2 _ O on Twitter. and make sure you're subscribed to the channel down below. Leave a thumbs up, leave a comment. It really helps with the algorithm, and I really do appreciate it. So thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you more than you will ever know. And until next time, peace.